Zvekuti iweneni tikanyatsorangarira mushe, if you and I are to think properly, you will realize that at one point the whole political party, or at least a fraction of it, was depending on a woman to remove the vice president. Varuma kurve seva izviti G40 vaivimba na mama kuti mama vachatibvisira trabablas. Vamwe vainzwika vachibhesera kumashure kuti vava vari mumateresi, vavai mama, vavai stop it. Zvekuti dai stop it isina kuitika, dzimwe nguva dai zvinhu zvisina kuzopinda nepamwe. We might not see eye to eye on many things, but the method in which they wanted to humiliate our current president became a national embarrassment. We don't care who they wanted to replace President Mugabe with, but using his wife to remove Mr. Mnangagwa, it is one of the greatest blunders that ZANU-PF did, that shows you that the intellectual capabilities of the people at the helm is exaggerated. The president is the one with the executive power to hire and fire a vice president. It was easy, just leave him. You don't have to make it a public spectacle to humiliate him every day, sometimes in his presence. And while they are doing so, he was clapping hands to his own humiliation. As a nation, we should have frowned upon that. Don't tell me he was too old to see properly. Age did not catch upon him like lightning. He aged gracefully. Everyone can see that I'm getting older now. Yeah. So he had to eat his own pudding. Kavatarisi varume vaya vari kumhanya mhari musangano kuti maiombera mukadzi uyu muchitoti mama inini matanga futi idhife amunyarere ozidananga ndirini ndairega kuenda kumarali acho zvainyadzisa kuti munobva nemunhu kuharare moenda naye kubhindura munomutukira kubhindura modzoka mese kuharare kokungo mudeedza muofisi shamwari chienda kumusha iwewe. Imagine my wife standing on the pulpit and saying, the head of the ushering department is a very stupid man. Stop it, ushering department is useless. Ima mubvunze kuti kozvaita sei. Handiti head uyu mwana kana ari kutadza kamunogara naye pasi momudzora mu-private boardroom. Ndosaka maofisi aine boardroom. Mr. Mugabe could have sat down with Mr. Mnangagwa when he told him where he was failing. Correct him if he needed corrections. Fire him if he needed to be fired. Not publicly humiliate him like that. That was extremely unpresidential. Don't tell me that Mugabe was intelligent. There's no intelligence in that. What happened now? Everyone who is no longer in Zimbabwe because of the G40 nonsense, they made their bed and they should lie in it. Varuma ukuru vaida kubvisirwa vaMnangagwa nemukadziwo varipo. So when you tell me that you are a man, I will look at what you have done and say, that's not what a man does. Inonyadzisa nyaya iya vanhu vedu vachatibvunza kuti mamuri here muZimbabwe panguva iyi uyo akapfeka gemenzi remapostori ndiani oti ndimama vava havasisiri mama but vakambe vari mama. Now think about it, how many African presidents have died outside the country looking for better hospitals? How many of them? Until today, it hasn't dawned on them that Singapore has not good hospitals built by angels from heaven. The Singaporeans sat down and said, let's build good hospitals for ourselves. Verenga izvezvi kuti musadhaki chete mapresident mangani akafira kuhospital kunze kwenyika nemavice president. Isu tomhanya kuairport kunotora bhodhi towaridza mazambia covid irauya. There's no need for Mr. Mugabe to have gone to Singapore for medical treatment. We have Zimbabwe is one of the greatest competent contingents of medical professionals, yes, from nurses to doctors, just like Nigeria, all over the world.
Yes.
Build good hospitals, they will come back home.
Amen.
We don't even need to hire foreign doctors, yes, for Zimbabwean hospitals. We have more than enough who are trained in best medical schools. We simply need working hospitals. They don't build hospitals. They buy expensive motorcades. And then they die in foreign lands looking for hospitals. And then we say they were very wise.
Yeah.
Ask the Queen of Sheba what proves the wisdom of a leader.
Yeah.
She will tell you.
Yes.
Josiah, the king of Judah, one time decided, we are tired of nonsensical leaders in this country. He dug up the graves of false prophets,
yes,
burned them to ashes, scattered them to the wind, and said, these scoundrels don't deserve to be buried. The Roman Catholic Church some time ago, they dug up a buried pope and judged him. They put his corpse in court, pronounced a verdict against him. Go and find out in history. Roman Catholic yakambochifukunyura pope akatongwa kisa chituna cha pope zoti iwewe guilty. And I think they threw his body into the river afterwards, and then later they had to pick it up and bury it. Sometimes it's necessary to do that. Why give dignified burials to people who made us to suffer like that? So those who can't afford to go to Singapore, what should they do? Those who can't afford to use state funds to go to China for treatment, what should they do? Ima handiti munoshandisa taxpayers money kuenda kuChina kunorapwa. Kuri vari muCaledonia vachaitwa sei? Vari muna mukuvisi vakarwara nevari kuairport vachaitwa sei? Vari kwachigubhu kumabvuku vachaitwa sei? Kuvari kwaNembidziya kuGokwe vachaitwa sei? Iwewe kana uri munhu anotenda, mamwe mapati hauchafanirwa kuenda nemamwe mafunerals. Unongoti endai munomuviga, it's fine. Handingakutaurire zvakawanda kuna makumanikidzwe munhu. Munhu itada tomuviga makore akawanda pfuura. Akatononoka, angadai akaenda kudhara. Singapore. Naboth. Nyaya yanga yakanaka. Dai yakaperera pavarume. Yakatengwa neAir Force. The woman said, I will give you the vineyard of Naboth that you have failed to take to yourself. Ina ndizive kuti kana uri murume unozogara sei? Watora munda uyu, iwe wakatadza kutora, watorwa naadzimai vako, wopfeka majombo kuseni, woenda kumunda ikoko. Unenge uchinzwa sei mumwoyo mako? Uye mudzimai wako anenge ari munhu werudzi ane simba rekukupromisa zvinhu zvawatadza iwewe. Haana bhota anetse. Afaserengu. Naboth nomusota. And what is bad about Ahab is he didn't ask Jezebel, how do you intend to take this vineyard from Naboth. He never cared about the process. Like I told you, rich men, powerful men, don't care about processes and justice. It's all about what they want.
So I always ask myself, why is it that the people who brought the problems which we have right now, who brought the dynasty which we have right now, why is it that they're the same people who are now trying to lecture us how we must come out of this problem? So G40, in all its wisdom, they saw it fit to remove Mnangagwa the way they wanted to. Yes, they couldn't wait for the conference. They couldn't wait for the Congress and due procedures so that they remove him. And they had to do whatever which they did. There are the reasons why we are here. There are the reasons why we have Emmerson Mnangagwa. Because if G40 had not done what they did, we were going to have a different leadership. We were going to have something different. That is how I see things or believe. But G40, after making all these mistakes, right now they are coming, trying to lecture us how we can remove Mnangagwa. They want to lecture us how Chamisa should be conducting himself. They want to lecture us how to do politics. They want to lecture us how you can conveniently fight ZANU-PF when themselves they are in exile. That is point number one. Point number two, they failed to remove Emmerson Mnangagwa. They failed to secure the blessings of the military despite their connections with the security entities. They failed to stop the coup. They failed dismally despite whatever resource at their disposal, including the president and his powers. They failed to secure power. Now, they will come and tell Nelson Chamisa, a man who never had control and access to the military, to justice, to the judiciary, to the CIO, to the police. They now want to try and lecture him how he should take power. Yet with all the institutions and assets at their disposal, they failed. So when we are critically looking at this, you would understand that we have men and women who are desperate. Not only desperate, but who are evil in their hearts, who always wanted to advise others to get into a sea full of crocodiles so that they laugh at them. We can't be told what to do with people who are in exile. We can't be told what to do with people who at their prime failed. We can't be told what to do with the people, with men who trusted a woman, who trusted that MUGABE could do something. If it was another woman, it was better. This was a MUGABE, a woman who was not even strategic, a woman who was hiding behind Robert Mugabe. If it was other women like Joyce Mjuru, we could say maybe, but not Grace Mugabe. So when you are looking at Zimbabwean problem, this is a very complex problem which need to be very strategic, to be very patient, to be very calculative, and to use wisdom. You don't need to rush when you are dealing with Zimbabwean issues. You need to walk slowly. You need to walk strategically. You don't need all these bogus alliances with politicians who are hungry and dirty. You need to have just a few people who are wise enough to advise you, who are wise enough to tell you where to go, how to do things. So, above everything, we need God. That is the best way we are going to liberate this country. So when we are looking at all this, I agree with Apostle Chiwenga on the issue of G40 leaders, you know, putting all their hope and trust kuna mama. That is the reason why we are where we are right now. So Bana Tyson, musatiudzire zvekuita. Garai ikoko makanyarara kuti zero. Let Mkomana do his own things, and at the appropriate moment, time, and you become President of the Republic of Zimbabwe.